Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here with my unboxing and review for the Star Wars Culturefly Star Wars Galaxy box. This month they are doing Hoth. Just check out the box. I think they actually do decent boxes. Here's the womp on the back there. If you saw my last review, it was for Dark Side. I thought it was a really bad box. I mean, they gave you a napkin holder that had like a paragraph of text that you literally couldn't read because they just took an image from some other product and then they just shrunk it down and put it on there. So all in all, I did not like that great. This one I actually got from a weird situation because they charged me and then I emailed them to cancel it like 2 days later and they never responded. So in a sense I got this for free because I went to my credit card company and was like, they charged me and I reached out to them through the email and they never responded. So I kind of got this for free. If they decide they want it back, I'll just fold everything up and send it back to them because technically that's all a return is. So I'm going to open it up anyway because I got it. So, and that was like over a month ago at this point where I actually emailed them and they charged me and all this stuff. So I don't know, it's weird. I figured I might as well make the video. I got this thing here. We'll see what happens. I saw a couple of the items because they wanted to do like spoiler things, and I was like, oh, well, that makes it look like it's not that bad of a crate, actually. So I'll get the giant thing out of the way since I already know what it is. But for those of you that don't, it is a hoodie. Also, that's why I'm wearing my Empire Strikes Back thing with it being Hoth. Figured I'd go 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back, which I got off the Disney store 2 years ago. I don't remember when the 40th was, but I think it was 2 years ago. So here we go. It's the jacket that they wear on Hoth. So it's actually, I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. It doesn't, it's cool because of what it is, but it doesn't look the coolest. Like it's definitely, it's that weird half and half where it's like, oh, that's a cool item. It's way better than, just having like the long sleeve t-shirt from the last one. And it's cool. It's always cool to have a nice zip up hoodie. But at the same time, it's not as cool, of course. Like, it actually would have been way cooler if it was legit like a real vest. That, I think, would have been way sweeter. But it is interesting enough. It's like, okay, they definitely made it. It's, obviously, it's the full outfit because it was the vest, and then they had jackets underneath. So this is kind of like two things in one, really. So it's interesting. It's cool. But it's also like, like, for me at least, it's a lot of brown. It's not like the coolest thing ever. So it's one of those weird things where it's like, I kind of see what they were going for. It's a cool idea, but it's not really my style. It's too much brown for me, and I don't think putting the kind of the design of like the vest and then the shirt or jacket underneath, I don't think it really fits in the same way when it's just kind of printed on and everything's kind of flat in 2D. It's like, oh, okay, they even have the print for the pockets and stuff like that on the side, and I'm not sure exactly what you would call that, but like, the little hex pattern down there as well. So it's like, it's cool that they have all of that, but it kind of loses its luster where it's like, oh, okay, it's just kind of outlines of the stuff. And then, this not having a different texture to it is like, it would be cooler if it was actually the vest and jacket, which of course it always would be because that would literally be two physical items. So it's nice, but it's just nice. That's all there is for it. I think this is the spoiler thing. Yes, it is. There are two other items that I saw. This is not one of them, so we'll pull this out. We have, maybe I did see this. It is an orange and blue hat. It says Empire Strikes Back on it. So that's not bad. That's not bad. That's a nice thick hat. Oddly enough, I actually just lost my hat yesterday. It was a regular hat. A little bit thicker, but that's interesting. I'm not going to wear it because of, not just because it's a return thing, but once again, the colors, the orange and blue, it doesn't really fit as much stuff as I would really wear. It's not, I don't really typically go colors. I'm very basic, black and white type of stuff. So for me, it's like, oh, it's kind of cool. It makes me think of some basketball team, and I can't think of who it is. The Knicks. That's what it is. It makes me think of the New York Knicks, because that orange and blue is the exact same orange and blue. So it's kind of funny. So there's that. Then we have, I'm pretty sure I know what this item is as well. I saw 3 of the items. Yep. So this one we have a ceramic mug with a Hoth poster on it. Everything is like blown out with my camera, so I'll just take the thing out so you guys can actually see it. This was one of the items that I actually thought looked pretty cool. I was like, I would much rather have this compared to the cup that they gave us last time. I think this looks way better. It says Star Wars Galaxy box. Yeah, I don't know why everything is super blown out all of a sudden on my thing, but there you go. That's about as good as it's gonna get. You can't even see Galaxy box because everything's just so wild. Yeah, you can kind of see it down there. Don't know why everything's blown out now, but that's the image. Super blown out for you, but there it is nonetheless. It looks nice. It says support the rebellion. You can definitely feel it's like just another sticker on there. So yeah, that's fine, I guess. But it does look cool. I like the image on it. I think it's actually a decent looking image. So it's not too shabby, and it's better than the. I feel like that's better than the cup they gave us in the last one. So it's a step up, but it's not crazy. It always, I don't know, something about their stuff. It just always is like. It just, everything just feels like it's a sticker. Nothing seems like it's really printed on there, which I guess most crate subscription services are exactly like that anyway, so I guess I can't really complain. Then we have Crew Socks, Rebel Alliance. So we got some more brown and white. So there you go, brown and white socks. They you know, obviously they match the jacket, but they're brown and white socks. I always hate getting socks anyway because it's always super meh to me. Then we have some weird Wampa thing. What is this? A Tomtom thing, sorry. It's a Tomtom Tote. Hold up. Okay. Oh. Alright, well, that's interesting. It's a very thin bag. I don't know if that really helps. You can't even actually see past the thing's head. All the stuff in the way. But yeah, it's fairly thin. You know, sort of a flimsy little bag. Cool idea though. You know, having it all fold into itself and you know folds into the Tomtom. That's not too bad. I actually have a Back to the Future thing that's just like this, except it has an actual tie on it, and it's instead of it being a tote, it's actually a duffel bag, kind of folded into the flux capacitor. So that's all right. It seems kind of cheapy, just super thin. And we have, I think, 2 more items down here. This is a decal, I would imagine. Yeah, I think this is a decal. So this is a part of the map. Yeah, once again, you cannot see that at all. You can see better back here. So this, I think, is one of the little designs that if you're watching Empire when they're actually on the thing. Oh, I just hit something. My computer just turned on. The designs on Hoth when they have like all their systems and they're looking at all the windows and stuff, or all the screens, I should say, not windows. This is one of the designs that pops up. So it's something. Who the F knows? I always try to look at it and I'm like, I can't tell what they're really capturing with these red dots. Like, are those bad guys? They couldn't be because that was before they started fighting. So I don't know. But here's a decal you can toss on the back of your car. Oh, I gotta turn this stupid computer off again. I totally did that by mistake. Hit my little, I actually stepped on my keyboard and woke the computer up. I think we have one more item, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we might have 2. Okay, so here are 2 of the other items. So these are coasters, and they are the Snowspeeder coasters. I thought these looked super cool, and they definitely do. They're actually fairly thick too. I think they're both rubber coasters. They're pretty cool. They're a decent size, I'd say. I mean, yeah, you just have to put the glass. You can't even see that. Put the glass on like the widest part, but I think they fit. You know, most glasses would fit on there. So at least those look cool. I think they definitely look cool. I like the design of those. Those could actually be magnets, and I think they would be really cool if they had magnets of these. And they actually came with like little magnet blaster effects. That would be super cool. I feel like that would be amazing for that. And I believe this is our final item, which is a pin. Or not a pin, a sign, a tin sign. It says Wampa warning. That's what that's supposed to say. So based on the sticker being this way, I think this is right side up, not this way. But I don't really read Arabic, so I don't know 100%. But hard to tell. But I'm gonna assume this is right side up. So that I do believe is our final item, unless there's anything else. Oh, there's one last little thing, and this is actually pretty sick. It's a giant chain pin, which I've never even seen a chain pin before, but it's a chain pin of the AT-AT and the Snowspeeder. So that's really cool. Obviously, with the way my camera is set up, I don't know what the F I was doing. I haven't recorded in a super long time, so I don't know what my settings are at and why everything's like insanely blown out. But that looks really nice. I actually love that. Yeah, so that I think is pretty cool. That I definitely like. Then nothing on the inside of the box. It just says that. So we'll go over this really quick. We have the Hoth zip-up hoodie. Not too shabby. The Wampa warning tin sign, which is okay. the AT-AT and Snowspeeder chain pin, which I think is actually, oddly enough, that might be like my favorite or second favorite item. The Rebel Alliance socks, which are okay. New York Knicks. We have the Hoth mug, which is okay. Echo-based tactical screen window decal, so that's what that was. And then the Snowspeeder coasters, and then the Tomtom foldable tote. So out of all of these, I actually like the chain pin, the coasters, and the mug the most, which is weird considering you have a full-on hoodie. I just don't really think the hoodie's that good. You know, it's just a design that I've never been like, you know, like that's one of my favorite designs. Like if it was specifically like Han's jacket or something, I'd be like, okay, you know, because he had the I think they pretty much had him in the exact same one when he was in The Force Awakens. But, you know, he just had a simple, it was really just like a normal jacket that had some fur on it. Honestly, it was a really normal jacket. So maybe it wouldn't be that good as a hoodie. It would be even more plain. Or it would actually be plain, because it's not plain as a hoodie. But it's just okay to me. Like, it's not that much. I would love to know your thoughts on the hoodie, because that's always like, you know, especially with it being like the biggest item. I always want to know what people think about that. But for me, it's like, it's okay. It's not one that I'd see myself wearing a ton unless I was specifically doing something Star Wars based. And it's like, okay, well, if I don't want to wear, have like a Star Wars, you know, bomber jacket, if I'm not wearing that, then, you know, hoodie is definitely simpler to wear. So, you know, I could just wear a zip up hoodie. But still, I don't think it's like the craziest thing ever or anything like that. So it's okay, but I actually like the smaller stuff more. I like the pin. Like I said, I've never actually seen a chain pin before, so it's actually really cool. And you can have it, you know, like the Snowspeeder actually like hangs from the bottom of the AT-AT, and so you can have it kind of spinning around it. So I think that's really cool. The Tomtom foldable tote, it's a cool thing to have. It's a very thin bag though, so I wouldn't find much use out of it in general. Like I feel like tote bags as a whole, I don't get a lot of value out of. I definitely use duffel bags more than I use tote bags, because for me, the tote bag is like the in-between of like a backpack and then a duffel bag. And so duffel bags, typically bigger, you can hold more stuff, and then a backpack is kind of everyday item. So a tote bag, for me, is like the only thing I could even see myself using a tote bag for would be groceries. And then it's like, well, I would never do that, because I would just get grocery bags unless I was doing like Aldi or, you know, another place where you have to have your own bags. And even then, I probably wouldn't use that, because that's a really thin filling bag. I'm sure it's sturdy enough. It just kind of feels thin compared to some of the other ones I have, which most tote bags I have are like cotton based. And that one is definitely more just a nylon tote bag. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So, it's all right. The decal, I just don't use decals in general, but this is also, it's a cool reference, because of course, if you know, then you know. It's one of those type of nerdy things where, like, you know, if you know, then you know. And that's cool. But I don't use decals in general, so that's just a personal thing. Like I said, the hat itself, I just think is meh. It does have the old school Empire Strikes Back thing. You know, if you could see with Vader. So that is cool, but I'll stick with my, you know, my caps. I prefer caps over beanies anyway, but it's not bad. It's just the colors. I'm like, I'm not getting much Hoth out of this. I know it's Empire Strikes Back, but also the orange and blue is like, that's New York Knicks. That's all I can think of, because that's, you know, I'm not even a sports person, but I'm like, that's one of the, you know, that's one of those colors where I'm just like, hard not to think of that. So for me, as far as the clothing items go, not a huge fan. Don't really care for the socks or the hoodie or the hat. You know, most of the time when you get, you know, like a 10 sign and stuff, I at least like the art. This is just like, once again, another cool nerdy thing. If you know, you know. Like, if you know, even if you can't read it, if you happen to know that that's Airbrush from Star Wars, you're like, oh, that's a Star Wars thing. But it's just okay for me personally. Like, even the actual pattern on here is just like, it's mustard yellow and then burgundy on it. That's okay. So I like the weird stuff the most. Coasters, cup, and the pin, I would say, are my three favorite items. All in all, I do think this crate is a lot better than the last one that they did, because I felt like everything was just, it wasn't even the actual theme that they had said it was going to be for the last one, which was supposed to be Dark Side. And then oddly enough, everything kind of just ended up being a lot of Empire Strikes Back stuff. And then this was specifically for Hoth. And so it's like, okay, you know, at least it's, you know, it feels like the actual theme. So I like this one more than the last one. I still don't think it's, you know, because I think all of their crates are $50. I could definitely feel the value in this way more than the last one, for sure. Between the hat and the hoodie, you know, like the hoodie itself is, you know, at least has more value. But I think, you know, the coaster, the pin set is actually really cool. You know, the mug is just a cheap mug. You know, in all honesty, that probably cost them like less than $5 realistically to make it. But, you know, it's like, okay, I could see the value in this one for sure. $50 of value? Maybe, simply due to the fact that most hoodies are at least, and this is like on sale, you can get like a $30 hoodie, maybe 25. So that's like almost half the value is in the hoodie alone, and then everything else I could easily see, kind of making it for the other 25. You got a decent, decently thick beanie. I was trying to think of the word thick, but decent beanie, coasters, hat, or coasters and mug. The tote bag is, it's not my cup of tea, and I think I don't know. Oddly enough, I feel like they could have just made this look like the actual tauntaun. It didn't have to be like a weird square version of a tauntaun. I feel like they could have just made it normal and just had it like roll into it or something, but it specifically like folds into a square, and that just makes it weirder to me, because I'm like, why not just make it in the actual shape of a tauntaun? So that was something. And then, like I said, socks, brown socks even. So great match for the hoodie, but otherwise it doesn't matter. All in all, though, considering the excessive disappointment I had with the last crate, this is like a huge step up, but it's still just kind of like, okay, I'm definitely more excited for this one compared to the last one. Like I said, these 3 items here, pin, coasters, mug, are definitely the ones that I like the most. I like the visuals of all 3 of these items. I like having, Snowspeeder coasters. I think is the coolest thing. Honestly, I think that's my favorite item, just because I'm like, that just looks cool. It's like a cool design. It's, they're really thick, they're rubbery, and just the kind of drawn pseudo animated style they have with the line work, because the lines are so thick on this, it almost makes it look like an animated piece. So I don't know why, for some reason that just really appeals to me, and I just like it more. So for some odd reason, the design work on these makes these my favorite item. And then the effort put into the pen I think is really good, and I just like the picture on the mug. It's super simple. It's literally just a white mug. They don't even have it on both sides. It's just on one side, and the other side just says Star Wars Galaxy Box. But those are the 3 items I like. I would love to know what you guys thought about this crate. If you picked up the last one, your comparisons between the two. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Totally not New York Knicks hat. That's all I can think of, because I'm like, that specific blue and specific orange together, even as someone who doesn't like sports, that was always the sports team where I'm like, if there are ever any like random colors that come together that instantly make me think of a sports team, it's the New York Knicks, because it's orange and blue, and it's just that perfect complementing color. So that's all I get out of this, unfortunately, which is really unfortunate. It's almost weird that it wouldn't be like, kind of like white and blue, with it actually representing Hoth, as in, the snow and stuff like that. Like, it's just interesting to me, or, that it wouldn't match this a little bit better. So it's just weird to me that it came out to be like that very specific blue and orange. But all in all, it's still a decent beanie. If you like Star Wars, you're probably going to end up wearing it. Where I am in Michigan, it's winter right now, even though it's a weird, end of the world 50 degrees during all winter type winter. So that's, that is what it is. But as of now, decent hat, decent hoodie, decent. The socks are just socks. They're just socks. I can't really be like decent socks. They're just socks. All in all, though, I think it's an okay crate. I like these 3 items the most, as I've said. I would love to know your thoughts on all of this stuff, as far as how you kind of switch some of this stuff around. What would you have made the pin? What would you have put on the coaster? What would you have made the hoodie? Like I said, Han's outfit is fairly simple, but I may have liked that a little bit more. Or maybe if it was, instead of it being like the snow outfits that they wear, even though it of course is based on Hoth, they do still go in the Snowspeeders, which is why we have those as the coasters. If it was the classic sort of pilot outfit with the orange and white, I'd probably like that a lot more, just because it's like, I prefer that look to kind of the brown and beige. Like, it's just so simple together. It just doesn't really pop for me. So if this was like kind of the flight outfit that they wear when they're in their outfits, whether it's the Snowspeeder or the X-Wings and stuff like that, if it was the actual flight suits that they always wear, I'd probably like it a lot more, because I think that's more iconic to Star Wars than this outfit, because it is. I mean, they wear that in all 3 of the movies, compared to that being only in the beginning of Empire Strikes Back, which of course this is Hoth, so it makes way more sense theme-wise to actually have that specific outfit. So I totally understand it, but unfortunately, that doesn't change the fact that I would prefer a different color scheme to it. So that's my thoughts on this crate. I don't think it sucks compared to the last one, which I think just was over and over again, just like, okay, they took this thing and shrunk it down. I literally can't read this whole paragraph of text and all this other weird stuff that they did. We get a hoodie, which is better than the shirt, although I'll probably wear the shirt more anyway, just because it's a long sleeve black shirt. It's very simple. But yeah, I do at least enjoy some of the items in this, and I think they're cool. So I would love to know your thoughts. I don't know what the F happened to my remote that I somehow had around here somewhere to turn the camera on, but I guess I'm just going to have to edit this on YouTube. So either way, Thanks for checking this out. There we go. Thanks for checking this out. If you guys have any comments, please put them down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.